live in Celilo here, lived here all my life. We call ourselves river people. In the summer, we'd get in trouble for being down at the river all day. It brings back memories of my dad. I've learned from my dad, just that strongness in him is what kept us going a lot, and he helped take us down the right road. Learn not just about life, but everything to help protect the village, our home.
That's when Daisy started her fever, and he was diagnosed with the pneumonia. And then that's when Daisy finally had no fever on day 1. And then this was the subsequent days that Stephen finally had 3 days of no fever, no fever, no fever, no fever.
COVID arrived in our home on April 6th. My oldest son, Stephen, is the one that had it first. He had a high fever, he was exhausted, we had him in his room. And then Daisy had a fever and she was in her room, and then I had my husband with a fever in his room, and so we had 3 rooms with these guys in them.
My sister, she would open my door when I'd be laying down, and she would just sit there. She'd just talk to me.
It just seemed like time slowed down. You're all alone in a room. At times, I cried, asking for my wife. I had my daughter, but I didn't let her lay with me. I didn't let her cuddle with me. I didn't let her give me a hug. That was the hardest part. I knew something was up when my dad would text me saying, "I love you, son," or "I'm scared."
So that they could see their dad. The way our bed was, we would open the bedroom window, and so they could talk to him through the bedroom window. They told us his heart had stopped, and they told us that they couldn't revive him. But he was still warm, and so I sat down next to him and held his hand and talked to him and apologized.
When I heard that news, it was a memory flush for me. Like all our memories just came rushing through my head, and it was like the saddest thing I could ever hear in my life.
From the time that we were exposed to COVID on April 6th, he passed away on April 24th. So it's pretty quick. It's a lot of shit in between, but it's pretty quick.
I was very scared. In my mind, if my dad couldn't make this, honestly thought I was gonna die. In such a dark place.
My daughter, Angelia, is 7 years old. She lived and breathed for her papa every day. We have this thing of carrying her on around our neck. We call it carrying a yamash, and then yamash in our language is deer. And we'd carry her around like that. And he'd do that for her everywhere.
You couldn't ask for a better dad. He lived and breathed for his kids, from his oldest ones down to the younger ones, to his grandkids, to his nieces and his nephews. He offered them everything: stability, safety, knowledge.
My dad, he's very fun. One of those people that even in the most serious moments, he would crack a joke and have the crowd around him laughing. He was a very humble person.
Even if we were lost, even if we're having a bad time, he was always that support. He was very respected.
His sense of humor just, it was always on, and he continually made me laugh, and we just formed a connection.
You ready? Good? The edges are so thick.
I never needed anything. He gave me everything from love to anything I needed to accomplish what our lives were about. Nobody can hold a candle to what he did. It's a lot of gaps that we're learning to fill.
It's good seeing Native people and elders get their vaccine. A lot of the elders can't really respect the government at times or even trust them. We were promised a lot from losing our falls, but I think most of them are starting to see the good in this vaccine to keep them safe, not just for themselves, but for their family. Natives taking care of natives is kind of what we always preferred.
If we need to keep them here, that's fine. So probably just there by the door or by the timers.
Yeah. The timer's probably.
You know, maybe he hasn't died in vain. We could use the unfortunate circumstance of his death for something good, right? How do we protect our people along the river?
Is that right, Rochelle, or what?
Yeah, that's good.
So you want to solve this? Pray that, you know, everyone who got this shot is a leading example for some of the people that don't want to take it. And that they see that if it works for us, it'll work for them. And hope it encourages more to come out and get the vaccine. That's all I got to say tonight.
Thank you, everyone.
You have your vaccine first from last time? If you don't, that's fine.
Okay, you ready?
And my dad's teaching to us was, you know, you don't cry for me, don't hold me back, don't. His favorite saying was, life goes on. And, you know, that's how I live today, you know, my life's still going on. You know, I get on my brother and my sister, and give them teachings my dad gave me. You know, I don't know everything, you know, I don't know all of it, but I give them what our dad gave me, that I remember.
There's been times where we've cried to each other, but he's taught us how to live. He's taught us how to live without him. You know, one day I'm gonna be gone, and I'm here to prepare you for that.